Michael, we're just about to go out onto the field for a run around, aren't you? You've been injured, been out for 12 games, I do believe. How's the injury progressing at the moment?
I think we're at the final stages now. Just finishing off with some more sprinting, going to do some change of direction stuff today, get into some contact on Saturday, and then fitting ready for the following week. Yeah, so I'm itching to get back out on the pitch.
I can imagine, because you've had quite a few setbacks, haven't you, since that initial hamstring injury? You know, you've had a setback in training. How frustrating has it been for you? Yeah,
it's been really frustrating. Started off against Swinton away, felt a little tweak in the warm-up, so I pulled out, missed the next game, and then London away, thought I was sweet. It went then, 5 weeks later, thought I was sweet, went again. But hopefully, fingers crossed, we're there now. It's been a long time, but all the staff have helped get me through it. The physio team, Billy especially, has been class with me, so it's about time to get me back out on that pitch now, I think.
And are you enjoying your time at Featherstone, even though you've, like I say, you've been out for a prolonged absence at the moment? How are you finding it down here?
Yeah, I do love it. I love it here at the moment. Like you said, it's been, on the rugby side of it, it's been really frustrating, but my time's been occupied with the community and things like that, so that's helped me stay mentally stable through it. But I've had enough of the rehab stuff now, and like I said, I'm just waiting to get back on that pitch.
We're just here in the gym at the moment, aren't we? And there's some Red Hot Chili Peppers going on in the background. Who chooses the music in here?
Well, at the moment, I think we got Big Griff on being the DJ, and not too many people are going to argue with him. So at the moment, whether you like them or you don't, we're listening to them.
Cheers. Well, from your performances this year, you seem to be really enjoying your rugby league down here at Featherstone Rovers.
Yeah, I love it. It's been a nice change. Been totally surprised by the standard of the game. I didn't want to be disrespectful, but I didn't watch much of the championship before I came down. But yeah, it's a really challenging league, and you know they're out to get me sometimes. But I enjoy that; it's part of the game. But I really enjoy the club, and I enjoy being here.
You've got a wealth of Super League experience under your belt, haven't you? Over 300 games in Super League for various clubs. What do you bring to Featherstone Rovers, to the up-and-coming developing players here, for example? You know, what skills can you bring?
I think I bring the average age up a little bit of the team, but get out of here, what are you doing? But no, you know, there's a lot of young front rowers here, which is obviously my position, so I try and spend a little bit of time with them. But just coming from that full-time environment, it took a little bit getting used to coming to this part-time environment. But you know, any lads who ever got any questions, I always try to help, try and make myself as approachable as anything. But I'm learning off these lads as well, because you know everyone plays a little bit different, so it's great to learn off them as well as me trying to give a little bit back.
When I've interviewed people that have come from Super League to Championship before, especially forwards, they say that the game, because of the slower play of the ball, there's bigger hits in the Championship, or there can be. Is that what you've found?
I 100% agree with that. And they're generally a bigger player, because the speed of Super League now, the average size of your player now is probably a lot smaller than the Championship, especially seems to be in the middle. A little bit more athletic, you know, sometimes, but on average they're probably a bit bigger in the Championship. So, because like I say, the game speed is a little bit slower, they do try and get off the line and bang you a bit. I think that also goes to lads who have played a bit of Super League, make ourselves targets coming down to the Championship, because the lads obviously want something to prove, and if they get one over on us, that's good for them.
We're just looking forward to Leigh on Sunday. It's good. It's, you know, the top of the league. They're unbeaten since the first game of the season. We almost did them down here, didn't we? And I remember you had quite a tough game there. They are a tough side, a niggly side. Are you looking forward to that game on Sunday?
Yeah, I know a lot of the players there. I've managed to play with quite a few of them at Salford, so the game down here is a tasty game, and like you say, we were pretty close in getting a victory that day, and pretty unfortunate we didn't get it. They're a great side, they've got a lot of experience, they always seem to find a way of replacing their players when they're injured or something with another Super League player, so but we're pretty confident. We've been playing some good stuff, albeit the slip up that we had at the Summer Bash the other week, which was disappointing, but we bounced back in great style last week, so we'll go there on the back of a good performance last week, and hopefully carry that on.
And we're in, everybody's doing weights, so you could probably hear it at the moment behind us, and we've got some tunes banging out. Who's choosing the tunes tonight then?
I'm not sure he's on tonight, looks like Tannin tonight.
Okay.
Quite surprised really, because he doesn't actually use his data normally, he's quite a tight ass. But it's whoever manages to get the speaker out normally manages to get the tunes on. So there's some bad taste. Like Cordo's probably the worst. He's had maybe have one of U2 or something earlier, or Red Hot Chili Peppers earlier. But yeah, so whoever gets the speaker out generally gets the pick.
Okay, Davies, in terms of your performances for Featherstone Rovers this year, you've been ever present, one of only 3 players. Are you enjoying your time down here at Featherstone?
Yeah, it's good. We've got a good bunch of lads, which is the main thing at the minute. Everybody sticks together, everybody works hard, and we've got a good culture, good facilities. So I'm playing probably some of the best rugby I've played in for a long time.
And certainly you're fast becoming a fan's favourite. That they talk about the work rate that you get through, and you do seem to get through quite a lot of tackling on that field, don't you?
Yeah, it's just the little things. Just, you don't want to let your teammates down. Making those extra little 1% efforts pay dividends in the game across the 80 minutes. So that's what I quite like to pride myself on, just doing those little extra things.
And looking back to last Sunday's game, how important was it to have that kind of response after the game in Blackpool, to come back in the second half against Swinton like that?
Massive, really. Not just for us as players and coaching staff, but fans as well. Obviously, we were all part of the the Halifax game at the Bash. Everyone bitterly disappointed. Wasn't a pleasant bus home or a week following that. We addressed a lot of things where we felt we needed to be better on the day, and wanted to put it right against Swinton. It was a close game for the first 40 minutes. But I thought a lot of the work that we got through in the first half, the little things, completing well and kicking better, paid dividends in the long run. I think that's why we ran away with the game in the end.
Big challenge up against Leigh this Sunday at their own place. Do you feel well prepared for it?
Yeah, we're doing a lot of work at training at the minute. I personally felt we probably should have beat them down here as well, and I can only assume it's going to be another close encounter, and we're really pushing for to come away with the 2 points.
Jon, we spoke after the game on Sunday, and you asked for a response from the players, and you were pleased with that response. How's training been since then? Have the players had a psychological lift since that game?
I think psychologically, I think that the remnants of that defeat at Blackpool are still there. Certainly for me, and I think for the players as well. We've still got some, I suppose, retribution, for want of a better phrase. We've still got to keep pushing hard and making sure that doesn't happen again. Part of that is training well. Part of that is getting the team right. And fortunately, we did last week. We practiced really well. We were tough on them, and they responded really well. Thought they were great against Swinton, who were a good footballing team. But this is a totally different level. This is as high as it can possibly get in Championship, because we're coming up against a super team that are really, really good, and we need to be the best we can possibly be.
And going back to the game that we had against Leigh down here, we came back in the second half strongly, didn't we? And almost won that game, and some people think that we perhaps should have won it. And we were missing a few players then. And Leigh this weekend are going to be without influential Mickey Hyam. Do you think this is like the best opportunity that we will have to beat Leigh?
The fans might want to think that, and the media, and you have every right to can sense that you've got that feeling also. But you just don't beat teams like Leigh on paper, and you don't beat teams like Leigh thinking that you're going to win. You've got to earn the right, and they're a champion team. They're well coached, they're well organised. They've got some really good players, got strength in depth. Hyam comes out and Travis Burns comes in, so there's no loss there, is there? So we've got to focus on ourselves. I think we've got to forget what happened in round 6 or round 11. I think it was round 11. We've got to forget about that, and we've got to get ourselves ready for this week. We really have. We know that they're good. We know that they're good at home. We know that we're going to have to be the best we can be, and give them very little in regards to possession and field position, and be tough. Mentally, we've got to be really, really tough. So it's a massive challenge for us, and one we're getting ready for. We've had a good week's practice. We've got one more to go, but the blokes look like they're in good form. attitude-wise and practice-wise. So we'll see.
And that win at the weekend, it put us back into fourth spot in that top 4 position, which is what we're striving to be in at the end of the season. Bradford have a game in hand. Looking at the running teams around us that are competing for those top 4 spaces, they've got similar kind of run-ins to us, and every game does matter. Do you think that top 4 is a realistic proposition for Featherstone Rovers?
I think we have to think that way. I think we have to think the fact that, you know, we're in there at the minute, and we've got Batley, we've got Halifax, we've got Bradford to play as well. So it's probably in our own hands, really. We've given ourselves an opportunity and a chance, but you look at the other fixtures and the other teams. I suppose the guys who have written the fixture list and who plan this every minute matters certainly got it nailed on this occasion. I think that there's 4 teams probably battling for 2 places, you know, 3rd and 4th. I think are still wide open, and for us it's not looking too far ahead and looking at the fixtures and thinking if we beat these and if we lose to them and if they get beat. If you start thinking like that, you lose your way and you lose your own focus. So for us, I couldn't even probably tell you who we play next week. It's very much the focus is on this team, and all our energies are put into that because that's what matters next.
And it just makes a really exciting time for fans, doesn't it? And do you have a message for the fans out there at all?
Well, it's not only exciting, but it's nervous. You know, when Mum and Dad come and watch Featherstone, they have for, I don't know, 50 odd years, and you know they're saying that it's game days are horrendous because of the excitement and the way the competition's panned out. And I think the fans are enjoying it. I think we've given them something to shout about, and in return they've given us something to play for as well. They've been brilliant. You know, we let them down at Blackpool, but we tried to make amends last week, and we'll strive to do that. We're a proud group who have a good relationship with our fans, and we know we've got an obligation to the shirt. You know, I often speak about the history of the club and the obligations to the famous strip, and the blokes know that it's not doesn't go missing on them, and the relationship with the fans is brilliant. You know, after games we're determined to go on and show our appreciation, and you know they respond brilliantly as well, and hopefully we'll go across in numbers and we'll get behind the team and we'll give them something to shout about and be proud of.
Jon, thanks very much.
Well, Pat, it's about 12 months since that Jon come in, maybe just over. By the time he come in, we were really, you know, fighting for the plate last year, weren't we? This year the push is on for the 4. Different mood around the place.
Oh, without a doubt, it's it's been a fantastic 12 months. We've won a trophy. It might have been the plate, as you say, but it's a trophy which we've got in the cabinet and gave the basis for this season. And I think everybody can credit Jon and his backroom staff with where we are at the moment, because I think, you know, given budgets that other clubs have and central funding, to be pushed on the door of the 4 with only £200,000 funding compared to £750,000 for some of the clubs is testament to the way they've worked and the players they've brought in and where we are at the moment.
Yeah, we don't have the luxury of bringing a Travis Burns in or a Ben Evans in on loan, do we? But you know, just tell us about the players that we have brought in recently, how we've scrambled to get the likes of Robbie Ward and what that'll bring to the club.
Yeah, well, obviously Robbie's a local lad, and he had a spell at Leeds Rhinos, went off to Australia, didn't work out there. But again, I think it's testament to the way that the club works, whether it be John, Mark, or whoever, that they actually have all the contacts, and when players become available, we do what we can to bring them over. Jamie Foster, another prime example. You know, obviously he hadn't been playing too much at Huddersfield, but we've got him across here, and he's been kicking goals and helping us get the points.
Now the race is on for the top 4. Featherstone Rovers well and truly in the mix. It's from a club administrator's perspective, you're looking at Leeds, possibly Huddersfield, Hull Kingston Rovers maybe. There's some big gates in that middle eights potentially.
Yeah, I think the problem we've got to find out is where the best place to finish, 3rd or 4th, because the formula you have 3 games at home and 4 away. It's trying to find out exactly which teams you have at home. And obviously what we'd prefer if we do get to the top 4 is to have the Super League teams here as opposed to having the other Championship teams here, because obviously financially that will be of greater benefit to the club. But let's get to the top 4 first of all. It's very close at the moment. Obviously there's only a couple of points separating the majority of the teams trying for those last 2 places, assuming that Leigh and London are probably guaranteed in the top 4, if not the top 2 at the minute. So we just need to work as hard as we can off the pitch, on the pitch, to make the most of the opportunities. And I think the players and the coaching staff are doing it on the pitch, and off the pitch we need to make sure that we're ready to take any opportunities that come our way. And if we do have some big teams here, that we sell at the 1921 suite, we have plenty of people into the ground, and we do whatever we can to make the most of the chance to bring some more money to the club, because it will only go to strengthen the team. And that's where we'll be up to, is obviously the more we can bring in, the more we can say to Jon, well, you can go and recruit player X, Y and Z that you need to take us further.
And finally, there'll be 1 or 2 people, Pat, who maybe haven't been down to the Rovers as much as they would like, or haven't been down for a few years. Unfortunately, they'll watch the Rovers on TV twice this year. Not our 2 best performances, but this team has always bounced back after after a defeat. Just spell out for us how important it is to be that extra man, to get the crowds in here as we push for that 4.
Well, I think it's pretty straightforward. Obviously watching Rovers on TV is not good for anybody's health because of your promises. So the best way to watch the Rovers is to come down here. The atmosphere that's generated by the crowd is fantastic, especially the community stand when people, the drums are going and we have, the supporters behind us, the players are going hell for leather, and it's a very intimidating place to come for any away team, and more so with the fans. We've had some fantastic games here this season, some great rugby, some fantastic tries, and it's a great afternoon's entertainment, and we just want people to come down and remember the good old days, and the good old days will soon be back if we all work hard together.
And a fantastic facility. It's going to be great, isn't it, to see this place packed out, hopefully in the top 4. And the people who have made this place what it is in the last few years, I understand that they've been nominated for an award recently. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Yeah, Wakefield Local Authority Building Control. It's an award for sustainability project, and there are 3 entries up for it. Ourselves and 2 others who I don't know who the other 2 are, but the award ceremony is going to take place at the Unity Rooms, and hopefully the stand gang will get what they deserve. I don't know the other projects, as I say, but I can't believe it can be anything like a gang of 20, 30 retired gentlemen who've spent 3 or 4 years on one project, and I think they deserve the accolades. Have been nominated, hopefully winning the award, and then hopefully go down to London for the Nationals. Remember when Jon Sharp came into the club last season? About this time the season was pretty much over. We were playing for the plate. Okay, this season we're pushing for the 4, and the tests get harder and harder and harder, and it starts this Sunday with the Leigh Centurions away. Featherstone love being an underdog. Featherstone will not be defeated in this challenge for the top 4. The Leigh Centurions, they might have the suspensions, they might bring internationals and superstars in on loan, but Featherstone Rovers have got the spirit. The boys are putting the work in. Get there in numbers to the Leigh Sports Village, make some noise and join the push for the 4.